Okay guys, hello. So today I'm gonna talk about Team Lora, or just Lora, Jean, and Haze. These three, in my opinion, are an underrated pick in the Cineplay department for a newcomer for Smash. And I want to talk about them because I don't feel that there's any exposure to them, and I feel that they have a lot of potential. As expected, we have tons of support for Rex and Pyra, and support for Emma has never really been poor. It has always been solid. For Xenoblade standards, right? There's definitely one character, or I should say, characters that people aren't really talking about, and they're exactly the ones that I just mentioned. So let's get deeper into my reasons of why these characters, have going for them. So the first thing is that Smash 4 added very few new franchises, and Ultimate really only added Inkling to represent Splatoon. For the more modern Nintendo franchise, if there's one franchise that has proven itself to have the merit for another fighter in a similar vein to Kid Icarus and Fire Emblem, it's definitely Xenoblade. Xenoblade 2 being the best-selling Xenoblade game of all time. Well, unfortunately, development for Ultimate was not in Rex's favor, so what many people thought was a shoo-in ended up being a Mii costume. It begs the question, why does he even have the Mii costume? It's like, it just feels completely out of place. I mean, as a highlight on the Fighters Pass and not in an isolated section with the Mii fighters like ARMS and Chibi Robo. Rex being randomly thrown in this announcement just totally feels weird, and most people feel that this could point out Rex being a playable DLC character. I personally don't think that's the case, but let's continue with this. I gotta say, there's one Xenoblade game that hasn't really been represented in Smash in any way as of yet, and that is in fact Torna the Golden Country. I find it hard to believe that they cannot just throw some spirits in. It doesn't seem like something really hard. Torna has no tracks or spirits. Heck, not even Bridget, who's a character from Xenoblade 2, has an actual spirit. I feel that adding Lora and her blades will make for a very interesting fighter because of two reasons mainly. One, something that nobody will expect, but it will make sense when you think about it, right? Torna can be sold as its own separate entity. I mean, it is, even though it's just an expansion of the base game, and the strategy could be to encourage people to buy Torna since it's in a way more accessible, and get people to in consequence get the base game as well. And while they're at it, they might pour over the other Xenoblade games that are left and the future Xenoblade games that they might be made in a few years. Of course, I'm fully aware that adding Rex and Pyra is the most sensible choice, but being predicted has never really been Sakurai's and Nintendo style, and Lora will be a fairly welcome newcomer, I feel, often being a more loved and respected protagonist than Rex. Two is the uniqueness, which is the Vanguard system, which could work in a similar fashion to Pokemon Trainer, but with new archetypes of fighters. Lora has a whip, but she could share a few moves with the Belmonts, but she wouldn't really be a zoner. She would be more of a close combat fighter, and we honestly don't have a lot of close combat humanoid characters. I mean, we have Cersei Samus and I guess Falcon. Jin is a swordman. Of course, he uses a katana, which is something relatively new to Smash. I mean, something that I feel could set Jin apart is making him a more ground-based swordman, which I'll get into later. Just somebody that doesn't space aerials endlessly. His moves could resemble Ichigo from Super Smash Flash 2. Haze is kind of hard, to be honest. It seems like she should be similar to Palutena in many ways. She'll probably just swing her staff instead of spinning it with magic like Palutena does. I'll say she'll have the best recovery of the three. She's a healer after all, so I think it makes sense, and her element is wind. So let's get to it. The stage. The stage can be anything but green areas, please. I love greenery, but Gower Plains already fills that niche, and just having another green area, which is in every single game, will just feel repetitive. I just don't really want to see it. I think that a new Xenoblade stage should show that the series has more variety in its world than just green plains. So that means no Lazaria or Garmoth or Alerta. So I guess that leaves us with Danag or the Oresco capital or the Titan interior. I personally will pick Torcus Plateau but I really don't know what it could be, pick. They'll probably do the same thing and just pick the stage that is on the cover of the game. So I hope that's not the case. But I will say that I just hope this stage is legal, because I'm not really a huge fan of guard planes in general. Music should be just fucking self-explanatory. I don't think I need to dive into this too much. Everybody loves the battle theme from Torna Golden Country. It's like the best battle theme. Listen, I love Xenoblade 1. It's my favorite Xenoblade game. One of my favorite, probably my favorite game of all time. And I love mechanical rhythm, but the battle theme from Torna is just the absolute best. It's fire. It's amazing, and I don't think it even comes close, to be honest. And just in general, just have a few tracks that they missed from Xenoblade 2 this time around, like the Power of Jin, Battles in the Skies Above, Incoming, Counterattack and Stay the Fuck Away. Just a few, maybe some, even some from X and even some from 1. It just really feels that a lot of music is missing from Smash, and it'll be a waste not to be in it. And I don't think it's strange to add like music from the other games, but whatever, let's move on. The Moveset. Now this is not exactly going to be long, because I'm gonna talk in a more generalized manner. Maybe I'll specify here and there, but mostly I'm gonna be a little bit more general in what I'm talking about. Lora, in her basic moves, it will be just like punch and kicks from her auto attack animations. As far as her whip, like I said, she could share like one aerial from the Belmonts and maybe like a few from like Cersei Samus, like some moves, but not too many, because she'll be like a close range fighter. Because just having many of the Belmont aerials while being like close range fighters seems kind of like broken in a way. Jin, as previously mentioned, he played in a similar fashion to Ichigo from Super Smash Flash 2. So his swings will resemble the one of a samurai. Rather, he will swing with both his hands. Like I said, the approach will be like overly grounded. He'll be more about just dashing around the enemy, like waiting for an opening. He wouldn't really be like most Zordis, who are just like throwing out aerials, hoping it hits the enemy. Like you have to play a little bit more diligent. Maybe his aerials will be not too strong, or maybe too laggy or something. They would just wouldn't be like very optimal for him. And he could have some ice moves here and there, to emphasize his element, because elements are a big part of Xenoblade 2, I feel, even in Torna. So yeah, elements should definitely be used. Haze, as Brillo mentioned, she would just use her stab and will mostly be like a wind fighter. She'll probably be like good at edge guarding, because she'll have like the best recovery out of everybody. One thing that I would say is that she probably have a lot of wind boxes, but they need to be careful in how they balance them, because it could either make them kind of useless, or it could also make it very fun to play against her. Now the specials. For Lora, it should be Spinning Wheel, the B, the neutral B. Her side B should be Rin or Roses, which is one of her talent arts. This one should work in a similar fashion to Dancing Blade. I mean, can you just imagine a Dancing Blade that is like a melee move? I think it will be pretty fun to use. Up B should be Hunger Snake, which will be like Cersei Samus old up B, or I guess Ivysaur's up B. Haze, her B attack will be Mighty Gust. Her side B will be Swift Gale, just a quick projectile, like a good one, not maybe a little obnoxious that makes people approach. Up B will be Celadon Whirlwind, which will be like like a tornado, just like a typhoon or whatever, that propels Haze upwards so she can recover. I was thinking about having this because in the game you would just make the move right in front of her, and I feel that in Smash would just be really obnoxious to deal with. So we'll make it like harder to use and not that good, but yeah, I feel that it will have like a great distance, and it works similar to Greninja's up B. Jin. So the B move should be Snow Blast, which is basically him just throwing ice attacks or whatever, ice shards. He could either charge it, or it could just be a regular projectile. I feel that it would be interesting, he needs to have the ice element in there. Side B would be either Chill Stroke or Ultra Slash, which are actually the same fucking move, and it would just propel him forward in the same way of Quick Draw with Ike. Up B will be Heavenly Disrupt, which is a similar up B to the one of the Meteor Fighter, or I guess Ike and Crom, which it goes up, but instead of just bringing down, Jin kind of come back spinning. So it'll be a tiring, like it wouldn't really be anything new, but it will work. If Sakura can think of something different, I really hope so, but it is what it is. So now let's talk about the move that everybody's gonna share, which is the Vanguard switch, which is gonna be the down B. So in Xenoblade 2, you have a Vanguard, and then you have your support type of character, right? Typically, it's the driver, the one is on the Vanguard, but you can switch it with the blade, and then the blade starts fighting, and the driver just start supporting the blade. This creates a lot of interesting scenarios in Xenoblade 2, but here it's just gonna change the character. One thing that could set it apart from Pokemon Trainer is that when you do the Vanguard switch from a blade to the driver, you'll do an attack just like the games. I'm not really sure how it could work from blade to blade, like from Haze to Jin, because that is actually possible. But when you change from a blade to a blade, you don't really do an attack, you just teleport right in. I feel that could be a little troublesome, and I'm not really sure how that work. But if Sakurai can think of a way to make it work, it'll be interesting. I don't know, maybe he'll scrap Haze altogether and just have Jin and Lora. The final smash. The final smash for like the Team Lora, she should have 2 final smashes, depending on what blade is active in the party. So if Jin is the one active, if he's the Vanguard, if he's giving support, the final smash should be Midnight Sun, which is the 4th level Telenar that he has, and it's really iconic, and he does this really epic swing, and then the 2 of them just gel.
Midnight Sun.
Haze, similar thing, basically the same, but it's just Haze version, the Starlight Strike. And I just really feel that it really works for this character to have 2 final smashes. I don't feel that it would be unfitting, just like it's not unfitting for Ken and Ryu. And it would be the first Nintendo character to have that, so just think about that. Okay guys, that was it. It was kind of tiring talking about this. It was rather short. I didn't really want to get into much details because I didn't really feel that it was worth it. I was gonna say something like Path of Thorns being Lora's forward smash, or Skyward Slash being Jin's forward smash, or something like that, but I don't really think that I need to get into details like that. I think Sakurai could do those things of his own. I was gonna say that actually, like, Haze could get Gale's boomerang from Link, now that I think about it. Well, anyways, I'm gonna just go on and on, but that was it, guys. See you guys later. Tell me, what do you think about Lora and Jin and Haze being in Smash instead of Rex and Pyra? Who would you like to see? If you like this, maybe I'll think about doing other movesets. Well, see you guys later. Bye.